In our last lesson, we spoke about character or font formatting and styles. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about paragraph formatting. You'll notice I have the same document pulled up that we used before, and I have applied the changes that I gave you to practice on in the supplemental material in the last lecture. So notice we've modified the title style to use green text. We've added the drop cap. We've changed the second paragraph to blue text. We've bolded URL. We've created a code style, as you see here, and we have applied it to our code here on page 2. Okay, paragraph formatting deals with the appearance of paragraphs. There are two different areas on the ribbon where we can adjust paragraph formatting. Number one is the paragraph group on the Home tab. The other place is the paragraph group on the Page Layout tab. For spacing, notice here we can add space before or after a paragraph. Space is measured in points. So if I add 10 points of spacing, notice how under the last line there's some extra space here. So that is spacing. I can also add spacing before, say 5 and 10, and you see now we have spacing before and after the paragraph. The default seems to change in every version of Office. It was 0 before, 10 after in 2010. It's now 5 after in 2013. However, I've already modified mine to be 0 before and after. So if you want to modify it, we can go in here to paragraph, change what we want here under spacing, and then click set as default. Now we get the same two options we got for styles. We can set it as default in this document only, or all future documents that we created on the normal template. So for this option, for this default, you probably want to select the second option, so documents you create after this one will have your new settings, not just the current document. Okay, returning to the Home tab, in the paragraph group we have lists, bulleted, numbered, and multi-level, which we will cover in its own lecture later in the course. We have indentation. We can increase and decrease indent. Now notice I have a special indent already selected, first line. Word has two built-in special indents, first line and hanging. So first line will automatically tab our paragraphs for us, so we don't have to do it. Hanging is the opposite. Every line except the first line is indented. We use that. One example of using that is when we want to do references or works cited page. One of the major formats, MLA, specifies hanging indents for multi-line citations. Alright, so these are our our alignment options. Align left, center, right, or justified. This is line spacing. So if we want to double space our paragraph, we can double space it right here. This is how we double space. Now, if I want other options, I can go to line spacing options, and this simply opens up the paragraph dialog box, the same dialog box we get if we go right here, and we can pick more detailed options. We'll pick double. Now we can also add space before or after a paragraph here. Can add space after, and if we go back to page layout, we will see that command added 12 points of space. So if we just want to add some space, we can do that, but for a precise number, we need to visit the Page Layout tab in the paragraph group and specify that right here. I'm going to undo that, so we're back. Notice we went back to 0. We're going to return to the Home tab. Now this is paragraph borders and shading. So I can actually shade just this paragraph, and I can put a border around it. So there's our new paragraph with a border around it. We can create effects such as looks like it's a pull quote. We want it to stand out. So we can do that with paragraph formatting. Now, remember, this is paragraph formatting, so if I make a change, it affects the entire paragraph just like a style. I can't double space just the first line of a paragraph. If I'm going to double space it, the entire line, or excuse me, the entire paragraph must follow the same formatting. Now each paragraph has its own format. As you see here, I've created in paragraph 2 a border, double spaced it, put in some shading, but all my other paragraphs remain as is. So that's the lowdown on paragraph formatting. Oh, one more thing. Also this button right here, which is show and hide paragraph. This actually shows all the formatting symbols. So now we can see here all these paragraph symbols. This is each one of these with a symbol after it is a paragraph. So if you notice, a blank line is actually a paragraph. So all these every line must be in a paragraph. So if we type one word and hit enter, we created a paragraph. A blank line is also a paragraph. So we can actually see our paragraphs by doing that. Now this button right here is the sort button. We can actually sort a list. So if I come down here and type banana, apple, orange, pineapple, just do those four and highlight this, I can actually sort this. And it's going to ask me how I want to sort it. We can sort on paragraphs or headings. We'll sort on paragraphs ascending, and notice we've now sorted our data. I can also have headers, so I could call this, let me undo this, I could call this fruits, highlight this, come back to sort, say I've got a header row, sort ascending, and notice my header fruits still stays unsorted. It doesn't sort it within the data. So there we have it, paragraph formatting.